The State of Downtown Boise address is happening right now. That's where city leaders give updates on plans for the city. The featured speaker tonight is Annie Gavica from the Basque Museum. Let's take a quick listen in at this live event from the Basque Center.
Eating in our restaurants, parking in our parking garages, and moving them safely to the game and then safely back downtown to finish their evening. Taste of Downtown continues to be one of our most popular engagements, both online and in person. In 2024, we had 38
So that continues, and if you would like to watch this informational address, you can find it streaming live right now on KTVB Plus and KTVB.com.
We were able to capture this in a new way.
All right, let's get a check of the weather now with Audrielle Tackett. Audrielle, looking at the monitors behind you, seems like a picture-perfect day across our area.
Hey, I think so too. I like the warmth, but I know some folks may be thinking it is a little bit too warm for their liking outside. We got to make it through a few more warm afternoons ahead of us before some cooler temperatures head our way for the start of fall. Right now, Boise in the mid 80s, lots of sunshine out there. Does look a little bit hazy. We've had some wildfire smoke that's kind of been lingering in our skies for the past couple of days. Hopefully that clears out a little more as we head into the weekend. Maybe have a chance of showers coming back to our mountains, mixing up the atmosphere maybe. That's a few days away, but just something to look forward to towards the beginning of next week. Twin Falls in the 80s right now, and then the mountains in the 70s. The rest of this evening, we will see some increasing cloud cover. We're only looking at an overnight low of 60 degrees in Boise, so not going to see too much of a cool down overnight. And then tomorrow, another warm day ahead of us. We might drop a degree or two throughout the Treasure Valley, but still a rather warm day, still slightly above average for most areas around the region. You can see Treasure Valley into the upper 80s tomorrow, Magic Valley low 80s, and the mountains will be in the 70s. But 4:32 on your afternoon, let's go ahead and see what the traffic is looking like outside right now. Seems like the Flying Y, of course, seeing a little bit of a slowdown as is per usual this time of day. Traffic going about 15 to 20 miles per hour as you head further westbound, getting closer to Nampa. Speeds are starting to pick up near that Franklin exit. Traffic starts to pick up above 50 miles per hour there. But if we look a little further north in the Treasure Valley, you can see Highway 2026 also seeing some pockets of slowdown and stop and go traffic as well, all the way from 10 to 30 miles per hour. We're getting close to that time where it's bumper to bumper traffic, so we'll check back in a little bit.
Thank you, Audrielle. President Donald Trump wrapped up a state visit to the United Kingdom today with a face-to-face meeting with British Prime Minister Keir Starmer. NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from London.
Hi there. President Trump returning to Washington after that press conference with Prime Minister Keir Starmer that brought thorny political issues back to the forefront after the gloss and glamour of that royal visit just yesterday. The president and prime minister pressed on the war in Gaza, with the Israeli offensive only intensifying amid a humanitarian catastrophe. The UK is preparing to officially recognize a Palestinian state. President Trump said he disagreed on that score, shifting focus to the hostages Hamas is still holding. Asked by a reporter whether he would tell Israel's prime minister to stop the war once the hostages are returned, the president said it would certainly help. He also faced questions on when he might get tougher with new sanctions on Russia's leader to drive him to end the assault on Ukraine, with diplomatic efforts so far unsuccessful.
The one that I thought would be easiest would be because of my relationship with President Putin, but he's let me down. He's really let me down.
And it's only when the president has put pressure on Putin that he's actually shown any inclination to move. So we have to ramp that pressure up.
Free speech was another key focal point, with questions coming from both sides of the aisle and both sides of the Atlantic, and particularly focused on ABC indefinitely preempting Jimmy Kimmel's late night show following pressure from the FCC chairman over comments Kimmel made about the murder of Charlie Kirk. President Trump said he thought Kimmel was pulled because of a lack of talent, though critics view it as a silencing of a critical voice. And there have been some critical voices and protests throughout the president's time here, as well as, of course, a lot of praise and the royal treatment. In London, Alice Barr, NBC News.
The two of Idaho's fire protection districts recently got new trucks to help fight wildfires. Those look awesome. These trucks in the Camas Creek and Owyhee areas, respectively, they're going to help crews in rugged terrain where rangeland fires can be very challenging. These RFPAs, or Rangeland Fire Protection Associations, are volunteer groups of local landowners and community members who step up to protect the rangeland when needed. The fall season quickly approaching, which means people are starting to think about visiting pumpkin patches and corn mazes. In tonight's Exploring Idaho, our Abby Will takes us to several of the Treasure Valley's pumpkin patches and takes a deeper dive into the history and art of growing pumpkins. From the biggest in the valley to small hometown farms, every patch has something for everyone.
We want to bring people here so that they can have fun. Fun is our mission with their family and friends and create memories together. But we also have educational things that we want people to see agriculture in action in the state of Idaho, but even more locally here in the Treasure Valley. So that's really blending a passion of family fun memories, but also education around agriculture in our state.
Farmers around the valley aren't just selling pumpkins for fun, but also striving to teach the people who visit about the agriculture here in our state. Tune in tonight at 10 p.m., the full Exploring Idaho. Latest streaming episode of This Just In is now up online. Justin welcomes his morning show co-host, Maggie O'Mara. They talk about how one of her Seven's heroes is helping college and K-12 students focus on mental health.
One woman who works there in the athletic department, she actually is a former student athlete herself.
Nice.
She realized that she had some mental health problems and issues when she was a student athlete, and she wanted to, just get rid of the stigma, open the conversation, and start talking about it. And I mean, we've seen it over the last 5-10 years. It's really changed. When we were in college, there wasn't a lot of talk about mental health.
No.
When we were starting out our careers, there was no such thing as a mental health day. You better get to work.
Yes. Yeah,
there wasn't time to reflect on your own mental health.
Right.
But now our young people are getting those opportunities.
If you have anything you would like to say to Justin or the This Just In team, you can text 208-321-5614. Use the hashtag Justin. They may use it on the program. You can also stream This Just In on KTVB Plus. To watch KTVB Plus, download on your TV and watch for free today. Okay, well, it seems like smart watches are old news now, and smart glasses are the future. We'll have the latest in wearable tech ahead. Would you want this?
right, time to check in on what's trending on a Thursday. Trending today is Meta's newest artificial intelligence-powered smart glasses. They include a tiny display and can be controlled by a neural wristband. CEO Mark Zuckerberg says glasses are the next step in human-computer interactions beyond keyboards and touchscreens. The glasses are called Meta Ray-Ban Display and will be available in the coming weeks.
That's very interesting. I feel like that would give me kind of a headache.
Yeah.
You know?
Like the little screen, how big does it look?
Well, what is it going to do? I'm not understanding.
I don't know.
Yeah, I
gonna,
need to know what it's going to do.
It's
we
like
want
a
a features
smartwatch,
list.
right? Like, will it count your steps and all that?
But smartwatch, that's not like AI.
Yeah, that's true.
So I'm like, what is the AI part?
We need more information.
Yeah,
We'll circle
before
back.
we can decide.
Yeah.
Okay, we're on the fence. Pretty incredible news. Have you seen this one? A Texas father became a hero after delivering his daughter in front of the hospital. Got so close. By the time staff rushed outside of the Dallas hospital, this man had already delivered his baby, Camilla. He delivered it in the car. A hospital volunteer said that dozens of nurses swarmed in, but dad stayed calm, lifting his newborn onto the mom's chest for a safe and happy ending. I think in terms of like where you could deliver the baby if it's not the planned location, getting to the curb of the hospital has got to be a good option.
I think
It's better
so,
than the
too.
middle of the freeway, for sure.
It's totally better than the middle of
Yeah.
the freeway or the side. So congratulations to that family.
Congrats.
All right, how about a cheeseburger for lunch today? It is National Cheeseburger Day. YouGov ranks hamburgers and cheeseburgers first and sixth among America's favorite dishes. Many food places like McDonald's, Burger King, and Applebee's are offering deals for the day. Now, did you know Americans eat about 50 billion burgers each year? That is way more than I thought.
I believe
50
that.
billion.
Okay, so I don't want to start a whole thing, but when we're talking about burgers, does that include veggie burgers, plant-based
No.
burgers?
I think just
No,
beef.
because they
Cheeseburger
separated
and cheese.
cheeseburger and burger even.
What about
Cheeseburger
turkey
and hamburger, they even separated. So I don't
Do you
think
like cheeseburgers?
Of course. Everyone, you don't?
No.
that's
Why
crazy.
not?
I don't like the cheese on it.
Is it a
Okay, so
taste or a
hamburger,
texture?
hamburger.
I like a hamburger. I only
Okay.
like cheese if it's the main meal, like a quesadilla, nachos,
Oh.
not like cheese on a burger, cheese on a
Nachos?
salad.
Cheese is the main meal in a nacho?
Yes.
See, I don't see the difference between putting cheese on top of chips and then putting cheese on top of your burger.
It's
burger,
way
you got-
different cheese though.
Okay, so what if we put nacho cheese on the burger?
Ew.
Even worse.
Really?
Yeah, no. No cheese. No cheese for me.
This conversation will continue, but we do have to take a quick break.